Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Pranata Kleshanasanaya Nasanaya Pranatakleshanasanaya Govindaya 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 Namo Namaha Govindaya Namo Namaha Govindaya Namo Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Pranata Kleshanasanaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Those who believed in Krishna are never betrayed. The one God who never gives upon his devotees at any conditions, however the devotees may be, and whatever reason they come to him, irrespective of any condition, the God that never gives up on his devotees. This beautiful sloka is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, where it is said, no one is destroyed by believing in Krishna, and Krishna is the one who can destroy everything as an obstacle in our path of bhakti. In the biography of Krishna, we never seen that anyone is being cheated or betrayed by Krishna. We only often hear that Krishna helped Pandavas, not just Pandavas, not just Kunti, not just Draupadi, not just Gajendra, because they are all great devotees. He also helped any level of devotees based on their bhakti that they have. He is a God who makes friendship with everyone. He made friends of different grades and categories. He had friends with monkeys. Sugriva is his friend. He had friends on a tribe class. Guha was his friend. He also had a Kshatriya friend, Arjuna. He had a minister who was his friend, Uddhava. Likewise, he had a very thick and thin close friend who's of Brahmana grade, who's Sudama, Kuchela. Now, we've been enjoying this beautiful pastime, a beautiful interaction, loving exchange between Krishna and Sudama. This is in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 80th and 81st chapters, Adhyaya. Krishna and Sudama were school friends and they studied together. And one may ask why Krishna has to go to school. He doesn't need to go to school. Many reasons are given why he went to school. One of the reasons is he likes to enjoy school life also. My daughter asked me one time, of your entire lifetime, what time of your life, stage of your life you really enjoyed? And I said school life. Right? So that just because we like school life, it doesn't mean we can stay there in school for the rest of our life, but we have to go to our next stage of our life. Yesterday, one of my colleague in office was saying that to another colleague who was standing and talking, we were having a discussion. He had a small baby just recently born, and that another person was telling, This is the best time of the life, baby life. It's the best time of the life. But really speaking, every stage of our life is interesting if we all know how to lead that life according to that present moment. Otherwise, definitely we are all going to think it was nice 10 years back. College life was nice. School life was nice. No responsibility, nothing. Parents took care of us. So we always go to the past thinking that that was much better. But in Krishna consciousness is fresh and new every day. The only thing we got to do is stay connected with Krishna. If we stay connected with Krishna, then every day is a fresh day for us. If we disconnect from Krishna, always the past is better for us. If you had a better life in past, or you had a bitter life in past, maybe you look for a better life in the future. Because we are not connected to Krishna, we are always looking for that satisfaction either from the past or from the future. Therefore, it is important that we are always be connected with Krishna. Therefore, in this beautiful story of Sudama, who was also well known as Kuchela, even though he did not have anything in his life, we are all well settled and we still have problems. We are not satisfied. We have a better house, better family, a better job. We have some savings. We have everything, but still we are not satisfied. We are still having something in our life which is bothering us. We don't feel that satisfaction yet. But Sudama pretty much had nothing. And he had a family too, but he had nothing. But he was prasannatma. He was completely satisfied with it. The only factor for him to be happy is because he was all the time connected with Krishna. He was in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, he was happy. And therefore, of all the stories that we study in Srimad Bhagavatam, when Sukadeva Goswami was speaking this stories of Krishna to Parikshit Maharaj, he was little careful not to speak about this particular story because it is said as a speaker, the speaker should never get emotional when he gives class. It's a very important point, right? Say, for example, if a speaker is speaking about Ravana came, he came and he kidnapped Sita, and the speaker started crying now. How is it going to be fun? He's shut. So therefore, this as a speaker, one should control the emotions. But who should cry? Not the speaker. The audience should be crying. The audience should not sit like a stone. Then there's nothing there. Of course, it all depends on how the speaker speaks with bhakti and devotion. If the speaker is not having bhakti and devotion, how the hearer is going to have any change in heart? Therefore, that's also important whom we hear from. Therefore, the speaker should be controlling his emotions, whereas the hearer should be full of emotions. Therefore, when Sukadev was narrating different pastimes of Krishna Leela to Parikshit Maharaj, he was hesitant to talk about one particular topic. There's one story he always wanted to say, but he goes to this story and Krishna stealing and Krishna killing demons and Poundarika, all those different stories Krishna was speaking. But he was going to take one topic. Again, he goes to another topic. Go take another. Again, he goes to another topic. And Parikshit Maharaj understood there is something that Sukadev was hiding, or he does not hiding in a sense. He doesn't want to speak about it. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj said, is there anything that is very special story that you want to tell? Because we are coming to an almost end of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is having 90 adhyaya in the 10th canto. So it's almost coming to end. At that time, Parikshit Maharaj, is there any story that you want to tell which really touches your heart? And these are commentaries from Acharyas, not exactly directly from the slokas itself you can find. So do not go back and search Veda base and Bhagavatam. Are you, the word that you said is not present in Bhagavatam, Prabhu? Are you making it up? I'm not making it up. It's all the words of Acharyas. So please do not question me after this. Therefore, Parishit Maharaj says, is there any special story that is really that you want to tell which you are not, we have not told yet? And that is where Sukadev says there's one Brahmana who lives in Sudama Puri, which is now currently known as Porbandar, as a place of birthplace of Gandhiji. That is called Sudama Puri, Porbandar. And there lived a Brahmana, and he was a classmate. He was a friend of Krishna. Krishna had many friends. By the way, we all go to school for we even before we get our first standard or first grade, we go preschool, kindergarten. When the baby is born, only we have to get admission, right? Before your child is taken birth, you have to apply for the kindergarten. Otherwise, you won't get. The baby is not delivered yet, but you have to have admission first. Otherwise, you won't get it. At least situation in India was like that. Therefore, many students were there in the school, but we take our kindergarten and then we go to first grade, second grade, third grade, 10th grade, 10th standard, and 11th and 12th. That spends almost 12, 14 years with including the kindergarten, 14 years or something. And then if you go into engineering, add another 4 years. That is, I'm just telling engineering, or if you go another degree, 3 years degree is there. And by mistake, if you go into the medical, forget it. Add up another 10 years or 12 years, whatever it is. We have to spend all these years to master just one subject. You studied all the way from your age of 3 to until 22, 23, whatever the years that you're studying for. What we have done, we have mastered only one subject. And that subject also, once you go to work, you will forget that subject what you studied in school and college, because you will learn something new. Many of the things we don't apply also sometimes. Therefore, that's how our life is. But even though Krishna went to the school, the time frame that he stayed in the school was quite interesting. 64 days. Can you send a school child to a school for only for 64 days? What type of graduation that he is going to get? But within 64 days of the stay in Sandipani Muni's, his guru's ashrama, he learned all the 64 arts. 64 hours. He learned everything for that matter. But during the 64 days of stay in his Gurukula, he had many friends. But out of many friends, one friend was very thick and close to him. That was Sudama. They were staying together, they were sleeping together, they were eating together, they were playing together, they joked together, they were always together. Balaram was also there, by the way. Now that Balaram was not there, he was also there. But Krishna and Sudama were so very close friends. Therefore, after the school 64 days, Krishna went back and Sudama continued. And Sudama went back and they have not met for years together. They have not met for a long period of time. And now there was a time where Sudama got a chance to meet Krishna. That too happened because of Sudama's wife. Sudama's wife said, my dear husband, because Sudama, every day you will chant one thing. Sometimes you become old in age, you will keep talking about the same thing often. As age progresses, it's another sign. You tell the same thing repeatedly to your family members. You know what? I know this person. You know what? I've done my things in my life. You know what? I've achieved this one. You know what? I've helped this person. Keep telling the same thing. You've already told 10 times. You will tell another 10 times. But likewise, Sudama also was telling the same thing. You know, my dear wife, Kalyani, my dear wife, Krishna was my friend. And this is not the first time he told. Since they got married, every day he will tell the same thing. If it was you, Manjira Mataji, Venugopal Prabhu is coming and tell, you know what? I know the President of United States. He's been telling you since you got married. What will you tell? Prabhu, enough, please stop. I've been hearing the same song for 20 years of whatever the age you got married. I know you don't feel like you got married for 20 years, you still feel like young one. But anyway, now, Prabhu, please stop talking, do something. Why you keep talking about the same thing? You know the president, you know the president, you know the president, you are classmates together. What? You will get irritated or frustrated by hearing the same thing together. Maybe you are not, you are another Kalyani. Anyway, so, but in case of Sudama's wife, she never ever said one word. And as she heard the first time when Sudama said, Krishna was my friend, it was the same reaction on her face after she heard for several times also. She didn't say, stop talking this one. Our spouse will get irritated if you keep telling the same thing. But his wife was not so. Then she said, why don't you please go and meet your friend? If he is your friend, just go say, hi, Haribo, hi. Just go meet him. Why don't you meet him? And that's when Sudama agreed to go meet Krishna. And he said, if I have to go meet Krishna, I got to take some gift. What you can give me something. She went. She never went outside of the house. Never went to anyone's house asking for anything in her life. She never goes to, can you please give me this? She never did that one. For the first time, to serve Krishna, to serve her husband, she went begging for something to other neighbors and 4 handful of chipped rice or flat rice. That's what she got. She packed everything and gave it to Sudama. Sudama very happily took that one and then put it on, tucked into his dhoti on the side. And then he went went on the way thinking about whether meditating about Krishna, and then finally he went to Dwaraka. Somehow or the other he got entrance into Dwaraka, and Krishna spotted Sudama, and he invited not only spotted and sat there and told, hey, you come here. Krishna himself got out of his bed and he went and embraced Sudama. He embraced Sudama and he brought him and then did all the upacharam, whatever need to be done, he did. Not only he, and Mahalakshmi, that is Rukmini Devi, she was also fanning Chamara to Sudama. And then they were happy together and they were talking about their school time and they're spending time together very nicely. And Krishna also said, this is in the 80th chapter, Ittam Viddhani Anekani Vasatam Guru Veshamani Guru Anugrahaneva Puman Purnaha Prashantaye. Krishna said that we are all blessed by our Guru. Therefore, our life is fulfilled. The purpose of our life is fulfilled. And we are Prashantaye. We are all eternally in peace and happy. This is what Krishna is telling to Brahmana friend. And he is looking at the Brahmana's face. After telling this sloka, he is looking at Brahmana's face. And the Brahmana, this is the 44th sloka in the 88. If you are following with me, we'll go through the sloka by as many slokas as we could. That's how we are going to do this session. So you can go to the link and our book, open up 10th canto, 80th chapter. 81st chapter is what we are going to cover today. Okay, now the Brahmana said that Kim Asambir Anivrittam Deva Deva Jagat Guruhu Bhavato Satya Kamena Yesham Vasaha Guru Abhut. He said, my dear Lord, there is no problems at all. There's no problems at all. And we have been blessed. We know that we have blessings of our Guru, but there is no need for you to be present in the school. But still, out of your causeless mercy, you are present there to give your association to people like us. Brahmana said this one. Therefore, my dear Lord, no scarcity, no problems. I am happy. I'm very happy. This is how the sloka ends in the 80th chapter. Now, 81st chapter, the Lord blesses Sudama Brahmana. The first sloka spoken by Shukadev Goswami. Sri Sukha Uvacha Sa Ittam Dvija Mukhena Saha Sankhatyan Arihi Sarvabhuta Mano Bijnaha Samayamana Uvacha Tam. Now, Hari, who is situated in the heart of everyone, is situated in everyone's heart, not only in the living entities, is situated in non-living entities also. So he's situated in everyone's heart means what? When he's situated in someone's heart, that means he knows exactly what we are thinking. I am also situated in my house, but I have no clue what my family members are thinking, what they're thinking. We have no clue, even though I'm situated here. Is it like that when the Lord situated in everyone's heart? He also situated inside, but he has no clue what the Jivatma is thinking? No. The Hari, Krishna, who is situated in everyone's heart, exactly know what we are all thinking. At that point of time, Shri Krishna smiled. Krishna's smile is so sweet, right? He smiled and spoke the following word. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Kim upayena anitam Brahman me bhavato grihat an api upahritam bhaktyehi premna bhuri eva me bhavet bhuri api apakta prahatam name toshaya kalpate nama toshaya kalpate name toshaya kalpate. Krishna said, my dear friend, have you brought something for me? Have you, usually you don't ask someone who comes to you, what did you bring for me? Usually that's not a way that you openly ask, did you get something, some gift for me? Children may ask that, but the adult who's grown up will not ask, oh, you're coming from America, what did you bring for me? Sometimes relatives may ask also this one, right? But anyway, uh, now this Krishna is asking, is this kim upayena anitam brahman me bhavata grihat? Krishna is saying, what gift have you brought from home? Any gift you bring, I'm happy with it. I'm not looking for a big one or a small one. Just anything that you brought, just please give it to me. I'm happy to take it. Toshaya means satisfied. I'm satisfied, Kalpati. Name Toshaya Kalpati. I'm not satisfied by the size of what you give me. I'm satisfied by what you give me with out of love. This is an important point. Krishna is not looking for how big you are giving. Krishna is looking for what you give out of love. If you remember, Krishna, in the same thing is said, Toshaya. Toshaya means satisfaction. This word is also present in Bhagavad Gita. Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Mat chitta mat gata prodayanta parasparam katayanta cha maam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Tushyanti ramanti. Tushyanti means satisfaction. Ramanti means satisfaction. In that particular sloka, comes in the 10th chapter, is Tushyanti also satisfaction, Ramanti also satisfaction. Why Krishna is repeatedly using the same thing in two different formats? Because when Machita Madhata Pranaya Bodhayanta Parasparam, when we speak about Krishna, when we spend time in Krishna consciousness, those who speak about Krishna consciousness, those speak about Krishna, is satisfied Tushyanticha. Those who are hearing Krishna Katha, they are also satisfied Ramanticha. There are two different people. Tushan teacher is a speaker, Raman teacher is a hearer. Therefore, so those are satisfied. Down the point where I'm just sidetracked here, but coming back to the story here, Krishna also saying, I am Tushanti, I am Toshayati, Toshaya Kalpati, Name Toshayati Kalpati means I'm satisfied with whatever my devotees give me. After saying this one, the fourth sloka, which is quite interesting because don't be surprised, it's a repeat sloka from Bhagavad Gita. Even before Krishna spoke this sloka to Arjuna in the battlefield, Krishna has spoken this sloka before that. Remember, the Kurukshetra war took later, after meeting of Sudama. It is not before. So this particular sloka, what we are going to recite now, is present in Bhagavad Gita, but it's already spoken before. To whom? To Sudama. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadham bhakti upahritam ashnami prayatat manaha. Is it not the same sloka that we saw in the 9th chapter, 26th verse? If one offers me with love and devotion a flower, patram, leaf, patram, pushpam means flower, and phalam means fruit, and toya means water. You give all this thing to me in one plate, I'll be very happy. Is it what Krishna says? Bring a plate, the plate should have a leaf, a flower, a fruit, and water. No. Listen to the sloka very patram pusham palam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham means what Krishna the translation of the commentator says that it is not you have to bring all these four things on a plate, even one out of this four, Krishna will be happy. Right? At least for the flower, you have to go buy, or you have to take it from a garden. Some things are there. Whereas if someone says, I don't even have money to buy flower, tulasi, or a fruit, then water is available everywhere. There's a problem. Nowadays, even water we have to pay money and buy. Water also is not getting, you have to, even when you get water, there's a problem, a lot of chemical and things are there. Therefore, you have to buy something. So many things are there. So what in case if you don't even have water to offer to Krishna? What are we going to give? Krishna says that give your tears. Give your tears. You don't need to pay for that, right? Tears out of bhakti, Krishna will accept that as an offering. Therefore, one cannot say, I don't have anything to offer. we have something to give to Krishna. And this goes to the extreme point of even a person says, don't have bhakti where I can get tears in my eyes. What are you going to give? This is an extreme case. This person that doesn't have a bhakti, only if you have bhakti, you'll get tears. Therefore, there's no bhakti, there's no tears. Krishna, I can't even give bhakti. Means what? I can't even give my tears. What can I give you? What Krishna is going to say? Well, you still have something to give. There's nothing that you cannot give. You have something to give. What is that? We still have our karmas. We still have karmas. I know some questions are being coming up, but I'm not focusing on that one. Well, please keep posting your questions there and we can take it later. Otherwise, I'll get sidetracked and the flow will break. So I'm not stopping you to post whatever you want to post, but I will try to address that later. Okay, if you don't mind. Okay. Now, otherwise, it's just going to break the whole flow here. Not discouraging you, please go ahead and do it. So, Patram Pushpam Phalam Doyam, Yome Bhakti Prayachati, Tataham Bhakti Upahritam Asnami Prayatatmanaha. So, Krishna accepts finally, I only have all my papa and punya. Krishna says, no problem, give it to me. I will take that also. Krishna will take it. Ityuktopi dvija tasmai vrididitaha pataye shriyah. So in the next sloka, this is sloka number 5, where Sukadeva Goswami said that even after Krishna said this one, give something that you brought from your home, the Brahmana was not ready to give. He was not ready to give. Krishna told you, please give it. And he knows that he has something, but he was not ready to give whatever he brought. Why? Because the Brahmana, after seeing Krishna's opulence, you go and meet a rich man. All you have is a small pen from $1 shop, $2 or $1 shop. You're carrying some small gift card to a rich man and something like that, right? Article. And they say, what did you bring? And you're going to give this from $1 shop. I got you this gift, my sir. You feel very ashamed. You feel not comfortable. Therefore, Sudama doesn't want to give what he brought from that place, seeing Krishna's opulence, how Krishna is. Sarvabhutatma drik sakshat tasya ghamana karanam vignaya chintayan yanayam Sri Kamo ma bhajet pura. Now, Krishna again, who is Sarvabhutatma Drik Sakshat. Sakshat means he is a witness in Sarvabhutam. He is a witness of everyone who knows everyone's heart very clearly. He knows that he is hesitant to give what he brought. But in the past, he also knows that Sudama has never asked anything to Krishna. Krishna, you do this for me. Krishna, do that for me. He never did ask for anything. Therefore, Krishna knows very well. Sudama has never approached him for anything, but he has come here for one particular reason, because he's been sent by his chaste wife. Therefore, he has come here. Krishna knows everything, but Krishna is thinking within his heart, I will give him what he wants. I'll give him what he wants. Now Krishna says, Swayam Jahara Kimidam iti Pratuka Tandulan. Pratuka Tandulan means chipped rice. Now Krishna was looking like this, and Sudama was also hiding himself with his hands, pushing his back. That the thing is coming outside, and the bag was there. So he was pushing it out that side so that Krishna cannot see. And Krishna is seeing that he's hiding something. So Krishna somehow or the other, Swayam Jahara Kimidam. He just, what is Kimidam? What is this? He just went, took his hand, grabbed that bag out of Sudama's dhoti where he was tugged that particular bag. He just snatched it out. Krishna snatched it out. So this is another thing. We will never want to give anything to Krishna. Even though we have everything in our life, when it comes to a question of giving to Krishna charity, that's when we will have every thought in our life. I have to pay my electricity bill. I have to pay mortgage. I have to send money to my parents. I have to pay Kumon school class, karate class, and this class and that class. Therefore, finally, we give 1 rupee to God. $1. This guy will be making money thousands of dollars. But finally, what comes out of his bank is $1, $10, $100, which is not even equal to anything for that matter. There's one nice story that I heard that there was a vegetable seller. So he was selling okra, not okra, whatever. Just take any orange for that matter. Orange. He was selling orange, and every day he was giving one orange free to some beggar, some person. One orange he gave to his beggar, and that fruit seller died. Next lifetime, he became a king, and then he went and asked one of the priest, astrologer, how's that? What was I in my previous life? How was I? Then the astrologer looked at his chart and said, in your previous life, you are a fruit seller. Every day, you give one orange free to some beggar, some people, needy people. That's how you became a king in this lifetime, by doing the punya karyam. Then the king became very, very happy. Then he made an order to his minister. Every day, we should give one orange to the needy people. Every day, we have to give one orange to the needy people. After years passed, the king died. In his next lifetime, he became a fruit seller again. He became a fruit seller. And he remembered, just as joke is not real. So he went to the astrologer and, what is this? I heard that every day I gave a fruit, I became a king. When I was king, I was giving an orange every day. I became a fruit seller again. Instead, I became an Indra. I became a fruit. Well, for a fruit seller, for his capacity, orange was great. Being a king, you should give gold coins, not one orange. Right? Therefore, it depends on our capacity of what we want to give. If we have a capacity to give, we have to give more. We should not be a stingy person to reduce what we can give. Therefore, Kimmidam, so like that, this person was hiding. Sudama is not falling into that category anyway. So Sudama was hiding, but then Krishna snatched out from his thing, and then he saw, my dear friend, what have you brought to me? Then with the first thing, he opened that bag, he saw it was a flat rice. It was flat rice. Krishna was so very satisfied. He was so happy to see this one. This is my favorite item. Therefore, what happens, many people in India, they think, if you want riches, if you want to become wealthy, give flat rice to Krishna. They're not understanding the mood of what this whole Bhagavatam. They think Krishna said, because this is my favorite thing, and what ultimately Sudama got, he became a rich man. Right? Therefore, everyone thinks, if you are a poverty stricken, you need money, you go and give 4 handful of poha, flat rice, chip rice to Krishna, and you'll become, the coins will, flood your house. That's how they think. You should understand what it means. So therefore, Krishna, oh my God, this is so nice. So Krishna took a handful of this flat rice and ate it very happily. When Krishna eats, Sudama was looking at how Krishna eats, and everyone's looking at Krishna. It was so nice to see how Krishna eats. Even eating is a style, right? Sometimes some people eat, we can't even sit next to him. You don't feel like eating at all next time. And they will eat as if they are the only object existing in the whole universe. They will eat. They don't mind who's sitting next to you, who's in front of you. I was at someone's house a couple of weeks back, and the house had a big hall, and the mother was sitting on one end. I was sitting in the center, and the mother's boy, was sitting on the other end. It's a big house. And this boy came from school and washed his feet and came. He himself took a plate, put rice, put yogurt and some dal and chutney, all those things. He sat there. I was conversing with his mother, that Mataji. I was talking to her. From the back, I was hearing the sound. That boy was eating, and the mother noticed that sound, and hey, close your mouth and eat. That's a statement. When you close, you cannot eat. When you close your mouth, how can you put inside? But the message is, don't make sound, right? So don't make sound while you're eating. Right? But this is a small boy. I'm just taking this, nothing of a bad thing, but I'm just telling like that some people eat, you know what they are eating is a soft item or a hard item or a liquid item. It will make so obvious to us that they're eating something. But when Krishna is adharam, as Vallabhacharya says, whatever Krishna does is super style, is super sweet. Right? When Krishna is also, it is sweet. Adharam madhuram, vadhanam madhuram, nayanam madhuram, asitam madhuram, hridayam madhuram, gamanam madhuram. Everything is madhuram. Everything is nectarian. When Krishna eats also, you can keep looking at Krishna, how he eats. That is also beautiful. Therefore, Krishna, you can see that Krishna was looking for something. When you come, meet him. He's asking, Kimidam, what do you have? What did you bring? What do you carry with you? Therefore, it's important when we go to the temple, also, then we carry something and go. Krishna is looking, what did you bring? What did you bring? Is there anything for me? Krishna is a people person, right? So he's like that. Therefore, here's another thing. When we go to say, if Amohanam Prabhu is coming to visit me over here, and then I said, I'm looking for Kimidam. What have you brought for me? I remember this. So what have you brought for me? You're coming after many, many years. We are meeting. What have you brought for me? And then he's a nice person. He knows the etiquette. Therefore, he brought some apple and mangoes and some fruit, something. Uh, so I took it very happily, very nicely, and some gift bag, everything. Please note whatever I said. Okay. So he brings all those things and a gift card. Okay. Anyway, so he brings all those things to me. I'm very happy. Now he says, Prabhu, Prabhu, you also have to come to Canada and visit us sometime. Mm, I said, okay, I'll surely come. I was just waiting for an opportunity for an invitation. So next year that I go to his house. And then when I go to his house, when I go to him, I said, instead of he's asking, I'm Kimidam, I've come to your house. What are you going to give to me? Right? See the mentality of us that when someone comes to our house, we are looking for what you are bringing to me. When I go to someone's house, we are looking for what you are going to give it to me. Give to me. Right? That is not the way that we should be. We should be in the mood of always giving to others. That should be the mood. Now, Krishna was very happy. Krishna has become very happy. Especially when there are people who, it's happened to me in my life also. People, when I was a small young boy, I had some people from America. They came to India, someone, and every time they come, they give a gift. You know what? I still remember. That was I didn't know that time. I didn't know that was one dose soap. The dose soap, one dose soap, and one cream, something that you can apply, some cream. That's why every time that person will bring that same thing. Then I came to know later when I came to America, that person works for that company and they get it for free. Sometimes here is the situation. Sometimes people, this is also, at least this is case is better. There are people who travel in the flight, and if you go to Southwest Airlines or you go to this whatever airlines you fly, Lufthansa, whatever it is, they give as soon as you enter, they give water and they give a pretzel or a peanut packet, small packets, and that person will preserve that packet and take it that and give it to someone in India as a gift, right? So anyway, Krishna is not like that, and Sudama was not like that. So Krishna took a handful of palm full of this chip rice and he ate. And he enjoyed so much so, he was ready to go and have, if you like something, you cannot stop. You keep eating, like Kichadi of Amavanam Prabhu. You cannot stop eating. You keep eating like that. So you just he was ready to take a second hand and put in. When he went there, someone touched him and stopped him. And how dare someone can stop Krishna from eating, right? Only one who can do is Rukmini Devi. Tavat Shriye Jagare Hastam Tat Para Parameshchinaha. This is the 10th sloka. Iti Mushtim Sakrit Jagridva Dvitiya Jagdum Adade Tavat Shriye Jagre Hastam Tat Para Parameshchinaha. And then Rukmini Devi stopped Krishna. Krishna stopped. That is enough. And now, how can a wife stop her husband eating? Unless the husband is obesity and is having heart problem, cholesterol, then wife has to control the husband. If husband in a good condition, what is wrong in eating? Let the husband eat. Sometimes the wives like their husband eat, their children eat, right? Therefore, in this case, Rukmini was stopping Krishna. Krishna, that is enough. Enough is enough. One is enough. Why did Rukmini stop? Is a big question. Why did Krishna? Is that Rukmini is thinking that by eating the second handful of second palm full of this chip rice, Krishna is going to give more to Sudama? Say, for example, Krishna has given 1 crore of rupees or dollars to Sudama by eating one handful. If he takes a second handful and eats, that means what the calculation? That Krishna has to give a second crore to Sudama, yes or no? That's how it is, right? If you take a third one, 3 crores. Nowadays, 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crores is useless. No, people are taking thousands of crores, right? That's different calculation altogether. Anyway, now if you take four handful, that means you have to give 4 crores. That means the compassionate mother, Rukmini Devi, stopping Sudama to get 4 crores? Will a mother do that to a child? That's a question. Will any mother stop riches or good fortune to their child? Answer is no. No mother will do that one. Right? Then why did Rukmini stop? Is a beautiful explanation is given. Because one handful of rice, chip rice that Krishna took, it's good enough to give everything that Sudama needs. There is no need for Krishna to take a second handful to give anything more. Krishna has given everything already. Only thing left for Krishna to give is Rukmini Devi. And Rukmini Devi therefore said, my dear Lord, don't let me go at least. Let me stay with you. By taking a second hand, you're minimizing your mercy because you're already given enough. That is the real meaning of this particular, why Rukmini stopped Krishna from giving enough. So now moving on to the 12th sloka. Brahmanas tham tu rajaneem usitva mandire bhuktva pithva sukam mena atmanam swargatam yata. Now Krishna made Sudama to have a nice meal. And the way that he prepared is as if a marriage is going to take place. You just imagine if you're arranging a marriage and how many people are expected. Thousands of people are expected, at least in an Indian marriage, right? Hundreds and thousands of people are expected. You have to cook so many items. Quantity is also so big. Krishna made an arrangement of like a marriage for one person to eat. Can you imagine? And when we are inviting someone to our house, how should we treat is what we learn from this particular thing. Prabhu, why you have to cook? For example, husband is telling to his wife, oh, why don't you make sambar, idli, vada, keshari, chutney of coconut chutney, tomato chutney, and this chutney, and then all this chutney. Also make little khichdi, also sweet rice. And then wife is telling immediately, my dear Prabhu, that Prabhu who is coming has diabetes. That Prabhu is having heart problem and he doesn't eat much. Why we have to cook all this thing and waste and trash it somewhere? Okay? Don't do this one. Sometimes there's a conversation happens between the family members. But here's the thing, the love that we show to the guest is obviously how we present when they come home. Therefore, we can learn from Krishna how we take does the hospitality for the guest. If he cooked so much, he cooked means he doesn't go and cook. That the preparation was made so much. 10 and 100 types of sweets and different varieties of sabjis and different types of papad, different types of rice, different types of dal, different types of many things. And this skinny Brahmana, how much can he eat? How much can he eat? He's never eaten food for age together. First time he's going to eat. Even if he eats for the first time, how much can he take it? We cannot take it, especially if you're fasted on Ekadeshi. Yesterday was Ekadeshi. right? If you fasted on Ekadeshi, especially you fasted Nirjal, next day morning, I will tell you, it is difficult to eat. Just by fasting one day Nirjal, next day morning, it hurts your throat. It's you if you have not done, please try to do it one time and see. And it hurts your throat and tongue. There's a sort of a pain when you swallow something. Right? That is the situation of one day fasting. Imagine you're fasted like Sudama for days together, and he's been given such a big feast. And how is he going to eat all this thing? Krishna did not worry about it. Whether you eat or you don't eat, I want to present all this thing. So Krishna, Sudama, ate whatever he could, and he drank juices and sweets, whatever he could. He felt like he's in Swargaloka. Prabhupada says, Prabhupada translates here, Atmanam Swargatam Yata. Swargam means heaven. Prabhupada says, he goes to the Swargam means not the Indraloka Swargam, he says as Vaikuntam. As if he's in Vaikuntam, because why Swargam is compared to Vaikuntam, in Swargam here translated as Vaikuntam is because even in Swargaloka, the happiness is temporary. It's extended for a long period of time. But at one point of time, one has to come back again. It ends. But when we go to Vaikunta, the happiness that we get, the joy, the bliss we get never ends. And for him, having this meal is like Swargatim, Swargatam Yata. It's like Vaikunta for him. That is Vaikunta for him. Now, after he finished, then Krishna took him to the bedroom. They go to the bedroom. And that bed is not an ordinary bed. Krishna uses that bed. Rukmini uses that bed, right? And Krishna says, you don't let your friend into your bedroom, by the way. We have a new house here. And then someone was saying that you're showing all the rooms here, you're showing your bedroom, you're showing your closet, everything. Don't do that one. I mean, they were saying you can show all this thing, but once the house is fully set, no one is going to let you into bedroom. Now the house is empty. You can walk them through all the rooms. But once you're settled in the house, when the house rooms are set, then you don't, please come, Prabhuji, Mataji, or all come with family, come to my bedroom. You don't call someone, invite anyone to your bedroom to show your bedroom. Right? Unless until the bedroom is clean and nice, if at all you want to show. So therefore, Sudama was taken to the bedroom and he said, please take rest. We'll meet tomorrow morning. And how can you get into the bed, which is used by Krishna? It's a prasadam. And Krishna pushed Sudama onto the bed. Again, it's not sloka. Just take it as a bhava, as a mood. That's all it is. So Krishna pushed him into the bed. And the bed was so soft, so cool, so chill, so nice. Just imagine you never ever used bed and never slept on bed. And for me, I'm getting that experience now also, just to be, tell this one. We never had a bed in our house for years together. It's been 20 plus years, right? Never slept on a bed. And the house is so very big. If you don't have a bed, you don't have a furniture, you don't have a table, all you have is just four walls everywhere. For that reason, we have to fill the house with all the furniture. Therefore, you sleep on the bed. It's like Swargam. You sleep on the bed, never slept on the bed. It's like so soft, so nice, very nice. So Brahmana felt great delight. He was so very happy. And Krishna also was happy seeing him. And at that point of time, next day, Sudama got up. He did his nitya karmas, whatever he needs to perform. He performed everything and then came back in front of Krishna. Krishna and Sudama sat together again on the same throne, and they were again talking together because it was time for Sudama to depart, leave his overnight stay. Then it was ready for him to spend the night. He was ready to go next day morning. Swabhute Vishwabhavena, this is 13th sloka. Swabhute Vishwabhavena. Suken Abhivanditaha Jagama Swalyam Tatha Pati Anavrajya Nanditaha. The next day, Sudama was ready to leave and he was completely satisfied. He was so honored by Krishna's hospitality. He was thinking, what did I do? I've not done anything to Krishna. But the way that Krishna took care of me and treated me as if I am his Swami. I am a Swami. How great Krishna is. Sudama was feeling very uncomfortable. especially someone who's great, whom you know is a celebrity or a great person. He comes and serves you. How do you feel about it? We're somewhat embarrassed, right? Oh, I'm not fit to be served by you, Prabhuji. I'm not nowhere anywhere close to you. I should serve you. Like, but Krishna served Sudama. Therefore, this is very important lesson for us in our life. How much ever great bhakta we become in our Krishna consciousness, it doesn't matter. We always have the mood of wanting to serve others. We don't serve others based on whether they are equal with me in the knowledge, whether they are equal with me in my position, whether they are equal with me in the riches, right? We don't pick people and serve them. We don't pick people when it comes to kind career, when it comes to the service attitude, we don't base the person based on their position, their knowledge, their greed, their caste, their color, their position in the society. We don't consider if a person is a Vaishnava, it doesn't matter what the person is, we serve that person, irrespective of whatever we are. That we learn from Krishna here. Krishna was serving Sudama so nicely. Therefore, now Sudama was ready. He was ready to leave. Sudama was leaving. As he was walking out, Krishna also came along with Sudama. It was a very difficult moment for both of them. Very difficult moment for both of them, right? If you have someone whom you really love so much, it is so nice to spend time together. Say, for example, some family is coming to you, Manjira Mataji, your very close friend, your buddy. That person is coming, spending time this summer. They are coming to your house. They are spending 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks, 1 month. They spent with you, right? You are so happy spending time, and the day came when they have to leave, right? How do you feel? You feel like, oh God, I wish you can stay for another 1 more week. Another one, can you try to see if the tickets are available for you to push it for another 1 more week? Right? We try to ask these things. And then family members are like, mother is like that, the children are like that. Can you just push your ticket for another 1 more week? And how do you feel at that time? You have to report to your work day after tomorrow if you're gone to India. And your mother is telling, can you just extend your ticket for 1 more week? No mothers will put us in such situation, by the way. They also know how we are. But if at all mother says, can you postpone your trip 1 more week? It's dharma sankat. It's a situation where very difficult at that time. Whether you want to satisfy and please your mother or you have to go back to work. How do you do the situation? It was like that for Krishna and Sudama. Sudama has to go back and Krishna has to let Sudama go. But Krishna and Sudama wants to be together. What a moment that moment is going to be, right? Do we have the same sense of emotion when we go to temple? The first thing we want to do is as soon as class is over, we want to go to prasadam. As soon as prasadam is over, we want to go back to home. Of course, we have our own commitments in our life. I'm not telling that's not bad, but the thing is that we see that is different and this is different, right? But then we have to be waiting for an opportunity of when next Sunday will come, when next opportunity will come for me to go and meet Krishna, to serve the devotees and temple. That eagerness should be there within us as a firing urge that should be there within everyone's heart, that I want to go, waiting for the next opportunity to go take darshan of Krishna, the opportunity to serve the Vaishnavas. That should be there. Right? So likewise, Krishna has let Sudama go, like Amohanam Prabhu said last week, that it was Krishna who was crying when he saw Sudama for the first time, when he embraced Sudama. It was profusing tears coming out of Krishna's eyes, more than Sudama. Right? Like what Krishna was feeling the greatest separation than anyone else. But Sudama was also walking forward, face behind. His eyes were looking at Krishna, walking forward. Right? When you're driving, it says that keep your eyes forward, forward. You cannot drive like this. Keep in turning like this, like this, like you will hit someone, accident will happen. But when Sudama was walking, he was walking front. His walking was in the front, but his eyes was behind, looking at Krishna. He was just looking at Krishna continuously. And one of the best gift that Sudama got, that he was, while he was returning back home, he was thinking, hold on, wait a minute. That's when he realized something. What was my project? Why did I was sent my wife to go and meet Krishna? Why did I come all the way walking from there to here, to Bhorbandar, to all the way to Dwaraka? Came all the way. There is no, by the way, cheap tickets, cheaptickets.com available where you can book a ticket for 49.99. No other transportation. He walked. All the way he came from Bhorbandar to Dwaraka and stayed with Krishna, spent time with Krishna, spoke everything, but forgot to speak something. What? How did I forget to speak something? What? Aho brahmanya devasya drishta brahmanyatha maya that daridra tamo lakshmim ashlishta bribartorsi. In the 15th sloka, then he was thinking that, my dear Krishna, what a great gift that you have given to me. The biggest gift that you've given to me. For us, if we say what is gift, something that is tangible, something which is visible, something that we can hold in our hands, that is what we call as gift. But over here, aslishto means, is it the biggest wonderful gift that I've got is your embrace. You embraced me. You embraced who? The beggar, daridra. Daridro means the beggar, poverty stricken. A beggar. You, Lakshmim, Aslishto, Bibrat Tarosi. You embraced me. The chest that whom you embrace is goddess of fortune. With that chest, you embraced me. Right? If you remember in Sishtastakam, Mahaprabhu says that in the 8th Ashtakam, 8th sloka, Ashlishyava Padaratam Pinastumam Adarshanam Marmahatam Karotuva Yata Tatava Vidhat Lampatah Mat Prana Natastu Saeva Na Paraha. My dear Lord, Ashlishya, whether you embrace me or kick me off or trash me off, whether you embrace or you handle me roughly, it doesn't matter for me. He says, it doesn't matter for me. I am dedicated to you. I am your servant. You handle me however you wish to handle me. Right? That the same Aslishyava Padaratham, same thing has been taught by Sudama, Aslishto Bibrittorasi. He said that, my dear Lord, you embraced me. What else I need from this one? Who am I? What type of person I am that you embrace me? I am a sinful person. I am a poor friend of you. And who are you? You are Jagatpati. You are Dwaraka Desha. And I am nothing in front of you. Vaham Dharidra Papiyan Ko Krishna Sri Niketanaha Brahma Bandhu Riti Samaham Bahubhyam Parirambitaha. 16th sloka, where Krishna, where Sudama says, Kim, who am I? What a sinful person I am. But who are you? How did you take care of me? You are Bhagavan. Brahma Bhutar iti smaham. Smaham. You are Bhagavan with 6 opulences, but you embraced me. You treated me like your brother. Nivasita priya jushte paryanke brataro yata. You treated me like how you treat Balaram. You treated me like that. You made me sit on the bed where the consort of you, Sri Mahalakshmi, Rukmini, sleeps on that bed. You made me sleep there. Not only that, Rukmini Devi fanned me with a chamara. What is all this thing? I cannot understand how merciful you are, how great you are, my Lord. Even the demigod come to worship you, your lotus feet. But what you have done is, you made greater than you and you worship me. Who's that? what a great thing. Then he was thinking like this, and he was thinking, what is the reason? At this point of time, he was thinking, what is the reason that Krishna did not give him anything on his return? This is when he was thinking, this is all fine. What could be the reason that Krishna did not give me a return gift? If someone comes to your house, when they go, when they return back, you give them some gift and send them out, right? But Krishna did not even give a kerchief, nothing, nothing he gave. So that time he was thinking, what could be the reason? Sarvasam api siddhinim olam tat chanor chanam. So he was thinking, what is that could be the reason why Krishna did not even give anything to me in my return? What could be the reason? Then he was thinking, now the reason is because if I become rich, Krishna knows my heart, what will happen to me? I'll be so much engrossed in my riches, in my wealth, in enjoying my wealth, I will forget him. I will forget him. Therefore, iti karuniko nunam dhanam me abhuri nadadhat. Nadadhat. Therefore, my Lord, you mercifully, it's out of your mercy that you did not give me anything. You know my heart. If I become rich, I will forget you. That is the reason you did not give me anything. Therefore, I consider that which is you did not giving me anything as your causeless mercy. Can you imagine the level of consciousness that Sudama has? He is taking what Krishna has not given as causeless mercy. How can we even imagine go to that level of bhakti? For us, if anything comes, we take it as a mercy. If nothing comes, we say, I don't have God's mercy. But here, he has not got what he wanted, but he feels that is Krishna's mercy. In this way, he was completely contemplating and thinking about what all happened in Dwaraka, and he didn't even realize he came to Sudhamapuri. He was so much thinking because, when one may ask, if you are thinking so much, how can you remember the way to go? If you've gone to that place several times, if you've gone, this happened to me, I always like to park my car in one same place every time. Even if the parking lots are free near the office building, I always park in a distance in one spot. On one day, I have to leave the office earlier. So for a change, I thought I went to office early that day by 6 o'clock. So I thought 6:30. So I thought, let me park the car close to the building so that I can leave early. For that day, I did that one, park very close to the office and went to the office. And then after I finished the work, it was 3 o'clock. I left the office, packed everything and started walking. When I went, that car was not there. I realized I went to the same spot where I park. Automatically I went to the same spot. Then I realized, what happened to my car? Then I realized I parked in a different spot. So you got used to, you keep repeatedly doing something that becomes our habit. And when you keep on doing the same habit again and again and again, that becomes our character. Right? If you start speaking lies one time, two times, and it becomes naturally, at one point, it becomes natural for us to speak lies, even among devotees, Vaishnavas. That is how it is. If we try to have a culture of wanting to serve others, then but that becomes our culture, that becomes our nature, right? Therefore, it all depends on what we want to make our nature, our behavior, right? Likewise, here Sudama was returning back from Dwaraka. As he was returning back from Dwaraka, he was only thinking about Krishna. But he reached his place, hometown. He reached Itichat Chintayam Antaha Prapto Niyagrahantikam Puryanaklendu Sankasher Vimanehi Sarvato Vritam. That is the 21st sloka. When he was coming, he came to the street, the same street. He came to the street and he came to his house close to the house. But as he was coming closer, from a distance, he saw the Vimanam. Vimanam is there was a celestial flights plane was above that particular house, and the house was looking so different, and there was a big garden in front of the house, And the house itself was so brilliant, like a sun and moon together. Vichitropayano dhyanaihi kujat vijat kalakulaihi. Then he saw in front of the house, as he was walking in the front of the house, for several yards, there was a big garden, huge garden. And the garden was filled with beautiful flowers, different types of flowers, different Kumoda, Ambuja, Kalara, Utpala, lotus flower, and jasmine flower, and different types of flowers, and beautiful ponds. And there are areas for the children to play, and nice trees. It was so nice. People like to have homes like that, right? In the front, the house should not start as soon as you come to the street. There are homes, little bit of lawn in the front, right? But usually people like to have a long lawn with beautiful garden in the front. Likewise, in the back also, they like to have a big space, and house should be in the center like a mansion. Likewise, his house was like Kim idam kasyava sthanam katam tadidam iti abhut. So he was thinking, where am I? Maybe I came to a wrong street, because there are multiple streets. He was thinking, maybe I came to a wrong street instead of going to my street thinking about Krishna. I think I came to a wrong street. Sudama was wondering, Kim idam kasyava sthanam? What is all this? Whose property is this? Katam tat idam iti abhut. This is 23rd sloka. He's saying, what is all this? And then he could also see there are men and the women, they are all looking so beautiful, handsome. They are all dressed up with nice, rich ornaments and dress and garments, and the women are looking so pretty, beautiful eyed ones, beautiful women. So he was thinking to himself, Kimmidam kasyavastanam kadam tattidamiti abhut. Then as he was thinking like this, there are some men, many men, they all were coming in front of him. They were all coming in front of him and greeted him with instruments. There are different types of instruments they were playing all together, different types of instruments. And they're doing Purna Kumbham. Especially a great personality comes to your house, a person, you have to do there as a procedure to welcome them. As a Aditi, as a special guest, we have to welcome them. Therefore, the Purna Kumbham was done, and there was a Veda, chanting of the Vedas took place, and he was invited. As he didn't know, he had no clue what's happening over there. He could not relate anything at all. He was just, had a velvet carpet in the front, and as he was walking, the flower petals were thrown in front of him, and he was just walking. The chanting of Vedas were going on, and he was walking in front of him. At that point of time, 25th sloka, Patim Agatam Akarnya, someone was coming in front of it with complete joy and happiness. Patni Udarsati Sambrahma Nishkrama Grahat Thurtam Rupini Sri Ivalayat. Rupini Sri Ivalayat. A lady was coming in front of him, right? As he was walking in the front by all the Veda Gosha, he was walking in the front with all these men surrounded, and maid servants were there, and there were one lady was coming in front of him. From a distance, he saw, this lady looks familiar to me. I think I've seen her somewhere. Right? But she was completely dressed up so pretty. Rupini Sri. How she was dressed up? It was like Sri Mahalakshmi. He remembered, oh, she looks like goddess of fortune. She was wearing everything like what Mahalakshmi would be wearing. Top, toe to head, top to bottom. She was fully dressed up so nicely, and she was coming in front of him. And then he said, look closer. Arey, you're my wife, right? What happened to you? How did this happen? What happened? And then she was happily coming in front of him and inviting him, welcome, my dear Prabhu. Not only that, what she did was, some say Manasika. It says that, the sloka says here, Manasa Parisaswaja, Manasa Parisaswaja. In mind, she embraced her husband. Manasa Parisaswaja, because it is not an etiquette to embrace in public. That's not the culture. Vedic culture is not that husband and wife, not what to speak about husband and wife. What about others then? One should not be embracing each other. But over here, she embraced her husband mentally. That is one way of saying this one. There's another way of saying also is there, where another thing says she, without any restriction, she embraced her husband publicly. Also, there's another commentary says that one. How is that? Why? Why did Sudama's wife embrace Sudama? Because he got all the riches now. He became rich now. She got everything that she needed. Sometimes spouses are very happy, especially when they get the gift. She become very happy. They cook everything for the husband, or husband cooks for the spouse, whatever it may be, right? They treat very nice because they got what they want from their spouse. Very happy. Is that why she was also doing this thing? No. She embraced Sudama because Sudama was embraced by Krishna. Sparisham, because Sudama is fresh, he has a sparisham, the touch of Krishna is fresh on his chest. Therefore, as a Mahaprasad, she also embraced her husband. For that reason, not any romantic purpose or reason, not in for any other reason. It's just because she also wants to get the sparisham of Krishna by embracing her husband. She also get the same effect of what Sudama got over the Manas Parishasvaja, like that. So now, oh, I just have to tell this one also. If you remember in Ramayana, same thing also happened, not Hanuman story, same thing also happened where a wife embraced her husband publicly in Ramayana. Think who that is. A wife embracing her husband in a public place. Of course, who's around, not around is not a question, publicly. And that is when Rama returned back from Janasthana after defeating Karadosha. Rama came with all wound on his body, and Sita Devi embraced Rama. Sita embraced Rama as a gift to Rama for his victory. So it is Shastra says there are situations where a wife can embrace her husband in public. One of the things is when the husband, as a king, he returns back with a victory, he returns back. That time there is no restriction; he can embrace. And the second reason is what over here, where Sudama's wife embraced Sudama. Okay, in these things it is okay, not otherwise, not really otherwise, because these things are unknown, is very intimate relationship which should not be happening in the public place. Patim Vikshyam Vishpuruntim Devim Vaimanikim Iva Dasinam Nishka Kantinam Madhe Bhandim Swa Vishmitaha. Then Sudama, with his wife, was walking further in the midst of his maidservant. He was walking into this place. Remember, until now they are coming all the way in the garden. They are not reached home yet. Just imagine how big the garden is. So he was walking all the way. Finally, he came to his palace. Now the house is no more a simple house, it's a mansion. He was entering into the house. As he entered into the house, he was seeing that hundreds of gem-studded pillars. Stambam. The stambam means pillar. Manistamba Sotapitam. Sotapitam means Manistamba Sotapitam means the pillars, hundreds of pillars were there, 100 pillars were there, and they were all studded. It is not concrete pillar, simple concrete pillar. They were studded with gem, valuable gem. It was like a place of Mahendra, palace of Mahendra, just like Mahendra Bhavanam Yata. Mahendra Bhavanam. Pravishto Nija Mandiram Manistamba Satopitam Mahendra Bhavanam Yata. So it was like that. Then he was walking further. Then he went and saw how the bedroom was. Bedroom was resembling, he was remembering how the bedroom was in Dwaraka. It was like that over here. Bed was soft, white foam. It was clean and very nice. It was wide. It was cool. And the bed was also with the ivory. The four legs of the bed, it had ivory, and it has ornaments on the bed, gold, studded, and diamond, and all those things were there. And then he could see that there was a throne, golden throne, and there were maidservants around the throne sitting and waiting for Sudama to come with chamara to fan him. The throne was soft, and there was a canopy on the top of it. There were pearl strings around everywhere. It was nice. And the wall was not just a blank wall, painted wall. The walls were also sprinkled with, it was a crystal glass, spaticum. Spaticum means a crystal glass. It was made of crystal and emerald and with nice stone jewel lamps. There was no lamp, by the way. In the palace, there was no lamp. I'm trying to explain this so much so because just wait for the end of the story. So you will understand why I'm spending so much time to elaborately explaining what Sudamas have received. Then we will appreciate later. Do not get, why is he talking about, the canopy and the pillar, 100 pillar, and this is studded. He's talking about the bed and the four legs. Just wait patiently. Now he saw this, there's no lamps anywhere. The lamps were the stones. There were shining stones which lit like a lamp. I'm not telling, this is all slokas there. You can refer to that one. The place was fully upgraded, completely upgraded. It's just not ordinary upgrade. It's heavily upgraded with everything. And it was also with full of peace over there. We are coming to the end almost. We finished, almost covered 32 slokas. So it was very peaceful also. Very nice. And everyone were happy there. Hundreds and thousands of maid servants. They were serving happily. Now, Sudama comes to a realization. Four things he realizes. Four things. Remember, this one has the whole sloka. In this chapter is 41 slokas only. We are on the 33rd sloka. Now he comes to a realization. Four things he realizes. The first thing he realizes, that is sloka 33. Nunam baditan mama durbhagasya shashvat daridrasya samriddhi hetuhu mahavibhutir avalokatonyo naivopapadyate yaduttamasya. Now he says his realization. Now he's contemplating, how did he get this wealth? He was saying, how did I get this wealth? Then he can connect the dots. All I did was took darshan of Krishna. That's all he did. He went there, took darshan of Krishna. Anyone who takes darshan of Krishna, they will not return empty-handed. They will not return empty-handed. Their darshan will not go in vain. It's not of no use. If you come and meet me, what are you going to get out of it? Nothing. Maybe a dosa, chapati, sambar rice, something like that. But that's all. But you cannot carry anything out from me unless and until I give you something. And I am a person who will not give anything anyway. Right? So you won't get anything out of me when you come to my place. But when we go meet Krishna, we will get something in that one darshan. Just one darshan. We'll get whatever we need. Therefore, he thinks, oh, it was Krishna's darshan that I had, which has given me all this wealth. All this wealth. I thought I did not get anything in my hand, because how can Krishna give such a thing in a hand? Sometimes nowadays especially, people do not bring gift. They give an Amazon card, right? Or they give something where you can go and buy, because they don't want to carry. Number one, they don't want to carry. Number two is they give a choice to us to buy whatever we want. Or there are friends who knows us very well that they order online, which will be delivered to our house. It could be a Bhagavatam set, or it could be something, a big table. It could be a refrigerator, or whatever it may be. Okay? They can simply order because they cannot carry. It comes to our house, delivered to our house, right? Likewise, Krishna did an online purchase where I cannot carry in my hand. So he made in such a way that he gave me a gift which cannot be carried in my hand. Please hold on and remember this one point. This is going to change later. That is his realization. His realization is, the first realization is, when we take darshan of Krishna, that darshan will not go in vain. It will not be a waste. We will get a benefit out of it. That shraddha, that faith one should have. And that is number one. Now, second one, in the 34th sloka, he says, Nani abhruvana dishate samaksham yachishnava bhuri api bhuri bojaha. Over here he says that his mercy is so great, Krishna's mercy is so great that even you do little bit to him, in return what we get cannot be compared to what we have given to him. Is big in return. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Little you give, what we get in return, we cannot even imagine what you are going to get. Therefore, Krishna does not see the quantity of what we give. He sees the quality of what we give, not quantity. It's a quality. Therefore, Sudama was thinking, all I gave was just a 4 palmful handful of chipped rice. Look what Krishna has done to me. What Krishna has done to me. He's given so much in return. Now the question is, why did Krishna not give anything in return when Sudama left? One reason we saw was it was huge. Therefore, Krishna cannot give a big palace in his hand. That is fine. At least a token of something can be given to Sudama. Or he could have told, hey, you know what? When you go home, there's a surprise. There's a surprise waiting for you when you go home. Krishna could have told this also, give some hint. But Krishna did not speak anything. Why? Why? Because if you are going to give a big gift to someone, then you can bravely, publicly, happily present it to that person, that gift, if you're going to give something big. If you're going to give something small, then you want to give it secretly, not publicly. This happened to me when I was in Rathya. This was couple of years back, when I was sitting on the chair, when I was in Rathayatra time, I was sitting on a chariot, and so, there was one person whom I know for many years, and that person always gives some gift whenever I meet him. Give a check to the temple, or not always. Once in a while, he gives a check to the temple, and $500, $1,000, like that. He gives a check. On that particular day, whenever he gives a checks to me. On that particular day, I saw him. I'm sitting there, and this person was right there. He knows I'm sitting there. Everyone is coming and giving some donation on the plate there. But instead of giving to me, he gave the check to someone else. That was little different to me, And then later I saw, because all that time the checks were coming to me anyway to deposit into the bank. So at that time I saw this person's name. I saw the check, $51. $51. Now I understood why he didn't want to give the check to me, because what I will think is, look at this guy, only giving $51. Second thing is, for him, is not a good thing to give only $51 because he is a rich man. Great person. He can give more. But giving $51 is not comfortable for him to give the less amount to me. Therefore, he gave the donation, but not to me, to someone else. Krishna felt ashamed for Sudama's bhakti relation. Therefore, he was not satisfied. He felt, what I've given to Sudama is $51. I could have given to him myself. I could have given more. What I've given is nothing. Now you should relate the narration that I told from Bhagavatam about what he saw over there. The canopy, the palace, the garden, the studded bed, and all those things. Can you imagine what he has received? Can you imagine what he has received? And what Krishna is thinking is, I have only given him $51. That is why Krishna did not give a hint, or that is why Krishna did not give anything in return, because he was feeling ashamed that I could do more, but I've only done this much to my devotee. What we think is, I have given a lot to Krishna. We would have not done anything for that matter. But what we think is, I have done a lot. I've given my life to Krishna. I've done everything to Krishna. Right? That's how we think. Therefore, we should know that His mercy is great. A little thing we do, he considered that to be great. And whatever great thing he does, he thinks he has done little thing to us. Does it make sense? That is how Krishna is. So that is the second realization he got. The mercy of Krishna is compassionate nature. How he is. Little you do, he thinks, what a great thing my devotee has done. And great thing he does, what he thinks is, what a menial thing I have done for my devotee. I could do more. That's the second realization he had. And then moving on to the third realization, to such a God, to such a Lord, what should I do is 35th sloka and 36th sloka, where he says that Mahanubhavena Gunalayena Visajjata Tat Purusha Prasangaha. And he comes to a relation to such a Lord, I should surrender my life in serving him and his devotees. I should engage myself in surrendering into him and serving him and his devotees. That is why he says, Tasyaiva me suhrudat sakya maitri. It's a quite interesting sloka number 36. Tasyaiva me sauhrada sakya maitri mitra. Suhrud, Saka, Mitra. You know what these three things are? Sukrud, Saka, Mitra. Three things means the same thing. Friends. Sukrud means friend, Saka means friend, Mitra means friend. But why he is using three words of same meaning? Because there's a difference between these three. Saukhruta, Sugruta, Rida, Kridi. Hrit means heart. One who's dear to heart, one who always thinks a good thing for us in our life. Well-wisher. A well-wisher is also a friend. Sugrita is a well-wisher, meaning one who shows us a right path in our life. He is a well-wisher, right? The real well-wisher is, hey, come on, today is Saturday, let's go to casino. And that's not the well-wisher. That's not one who's showing a right path. Hey, today is Saturday, why don't we go to the temple? We have some time. Why don't we go and do some seva? Why don't we go and do some help? Now that Hari Krishna is going to go to Tirupati and do some book distribution, why don't we, for a change, go and help him today? We'll also go and we don't know how to do book distribution. We don't know how to speak. We don't even know the content of what is being sold, the Bhagavad Gita. But at least we'll go and stand next to him. Standing simply next to some person like that is a service. You don't need to know the subject matter. You don't need to be an SME, subject matter expert, to do devotional service. Just being with the Vaishnava, we will become an SME. We'll become a subject matter expert. No question about it. There's no question. Because Krishna will give that ability to do what we need to do in his service. All we have to do is go. If you only sit in one place, nothing is going to happen. We have to get up and move around and do something. Sitting in one place and telling, I am bhajanam, I'm doing bhajana, Krishna, Krishna. It's not going to be, that is not what is Krishna consciousness movement is. We are into movement. We have to keep moving in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, that person who shows us a good path is our real dear friend to our heart, Sugrita, well-wisher. We should have such a friend in our life who is a well-wisher. And this well-wisher in such a way that he can also correct in our life when we go on a wrong path. Right? So Ravana had many well-wishers. Ravana had many well-wishers of Ravana's program. According to Ravana's program, they were well-wishers. But actually, they were not well-wishers. They're pushing them into this material world, samsara. They're not. They were not brave enough to speak, you're Ravana, you're doing wrong. Of course, there were a couple of Rakshasa were talking right thing. But likewise, we have to have Sukrut in our life. Sakha. Sakha is a person who shares good and bad in our life. There are friends who will only come for birthday parties or some parties. But if there is any problem in our life, you dial them, you call them, you message them, you check, do all sort of things. They will never respond. They will never respond. It's not like that. Sakha is a person who will always share good and bad in our life. Is there? I can depend on that person anytime for good or bad. That is Sakha. And Maitri or Mitra is one who's ready to come running to us in a difficult situation. In a difficult situation. Of course, there are little more many differences between these three. For this context, of course, the age also matters between these three, but we'll have to move on now. So, Sukrita, well-wisher, Saka, one who shares the good and bad, and Mitra, one who comes there on the spot to help us. And now Sudama is telling that, my dear Lord, you are my Sukrita, you are my Saka, you are my Mitra, but I am your servant. You are all and all, but for me, I am your servant. I am your eternal servant. I want, only thing I'm praying is, I want to be your servant for rest of my life. Moving on to the 37th sloka. Bhaktaya Chitra Bhagavan Hi Sampado Rajo Vibhutina Samartyati Ajaha. Now in the 34th sloka, 37th sloka, he comes to a fourth realization. He comes to a realization that why did not Lord say anything about, why does not Lord does not make everyone rich like me? This is a nice question. He was coming to the Lord made me rich man, but why not everyone can become rich? Everyone can become rich. I am also going to the temple, but go to the home, my wife is wearing the same old dress. My children are same thing. The house is the same. Nothing has changed. I also went and took darshanam, and nothing has changed in my return to home. Why is that? Then he comes to a realization. He tells that even that is anugraha. Even that is this is what we saw earlier. Even this is his anugraham. Not giving what we want at times becomes anugraham, because we may not know whether that we are asking for is good or not for us at that particular time. Correct? The child may ask, Papa, the child, the 3-year-old or 4-year kid may ask, I need a cycle, I need a bike, I need a bike. And the father is going to tell, no, I'm not going to get you. And the same child goes into a 6 age, maybe a 10 age 10, then the child, then the father, without even the child asks, gets him a bicycle. The first time for the child, the father was an enemy because he asked for some gift, father did not give. Right? But it is the father's anugraham, mercy upon the child, because if I give you a cycle when you are 5-year-old, some problem will happen. You will hit somewhere, you'll fall, someone will come and hit you, you don't know how to do it, that'll be a problem. Therefore, the father did not give cycle for the child, is nothing but is costless, is mercy, is anugraham. Likewise, sometimes when we pray to the Lord, He doesn't give us something, we to take that as God's mercy, is anugraham, nothing else. There are 4 lessons, 4 things that it came to his realization, repeating the 4 things. First one is, those who take darshan of the Lord, their darshan will not go in vain. They will definitely get benefit. Number 2, his mercy is so great. He does not, he does not equate his mercy with what we give. It does not equate his mercy with what we give. Third realization is, therefore, to such a Lord, we surrender our life. And when we surrender means we perform devotional service. Number 4, the Lord not giving things what we want is also his anugraham, also his mercy. In this way, Sudama was leading an ideal grahastha life with his family, with his wife. Even though he had everything in his life, he was very devoted. He was very devoted, and he was always connecting everything he had as a prasadam, as a mercy of Krishna. When he eats something, when he walks on the street, when he sees the pillar, when he sits on the swing, on the throne, when he goes to bed, when he plays with his children, when he spends time with his wife, when he talks with his servant, he thinks everything in Krishna consciousness. In this way, when he did all these things, at the end of his life, he attained Krishna. Tasya ve deva devasya harid yagna patihi prabhu brahmanaha prabhavo daivim na tibya vidyate param. This is 39th sloka. Lord Hari is God of all God. is a concluding the master of all sacrifices and the supreme ruler, but he accepts the saintly Brahmanas as his master, and so there exists no deity higher than him. That Krishna is the highest of all deities that we can think of. इवं वा विप्रो भगवत् सुहृत् तथा दृष्ट्वा स्वभृत्यैर् अजितं पराजितं तद्ध्यान विगोद ग्रथितात्म बन्धनस् तद्धाम लिबे अचिरतः सतां गतिम्. Thus seeing how the unconquerable Supreme Lord is nonetheless conquered by his own servants. The Lord is conquered by his devotee. That is the beauty of the Lord. Bhakta Vatsala. He becomes a servant of his servant. The Brahmana friend, felt the remaining knot of his material attachment, whatever the remaining thing, the knot he had, it's all removed now. There is no doubt in his heart. There is more of attachment to Krishna, and the attachment to his family is changed into Krishna consciousness. Within his heart, he began cut off by the force of his constant meditation of the Lord. He was constantly meditating upon Krishna. In a short time, he attained Lord Krishna's supreme abode, the destination of great sin. Tad dhama labe achiratah satam gatim. He finally attained that abode where we go. We don't need to return back into this world. That abode where we go, we get eternal service unto the Lord. Now at the concluding point, the 41st sloka, Sukadeva Goswami says, Phalastuti. For those who had heard part 1 and part 2 of Sudama's story. So if you have not heard part 1, quickly, kindly go back and listen to part 1. And part 1, those who heard the pastime of Krishna with Sudama, what the benefit they get. A big garden with hundreds and thousands of maidservants and beautiful wife or handsome husband with wonderful children and a big mansion with 100 pillars studded with emerald gold. The wall is beautifully sprinkled with all the gems, with crystal clear, a throne, a soft bed with ivory, and no scarcity of anything for that matter. Is that what one get? Let's see what one get by hearing Sudama's story. Yetat brahmanya devasya shutva brahmanyataam naraha labdha bhavo bhagavati karma bandhatu vimuchyate. Vimuchyate, karma bandhat, vimuchyate, karma bandham vimuchyate. Vimuchyate, liberated. From what? Karma bandham. Karma bandham means all our karmas will be vanished. That means bandham. There is no knot, attachment, or any connection to karmas. All our karmas will be finished. Once all the karma is finished, what happens? Then there is no more anything that we have to do in this world. We are freed from this world, and we go back to Vaikuntha. We return back to Vaikuntha and engage in the eternal service of the Lord. So that is the benefit one get by listening to Sudama's story. For that matter, if someone wants to have material benefits also, the Lord is happy to give that also. Not that he will not give that one. He will also give that one. The beauty of hearing to this story is one important thing. One will attain mukti. Please listen carefully. This is the last thing. By hearing Sudama's story, one get mukti. One get mukti means does not mean that tomorrow we are going to go back to garden. We are going to live for some period of the time. Until we live to attain mukti, that lifespan in between, the person will lead a happy life. Person will lead a happy life. What else do we need besides this? Therefore, hearing to Sudama's story will benefit all of us. And let's remember the story of Sudama and pray to Krishna that we also get the same mood of Sudama. Brindaranya Nivasaya Balaramanujaya cha Rukmini Prananathaya Partha Sudhaya Mangalam. Thank you all very much for joining. And let's see if there is any discussions or questions. Thank you.
Prabhu, there were some questions in the chat room.
Only some questions. Okay, let me see what the questions. I see, well, before we go into the question, I see Devanathan. Is it Geeta? Is it you? Geeta?
Yes, Anna. Yes, Anna.
Thank you so much for joining. Geeta has joined us from Hyderabad, India. She's my sister. Sister in a sense, like my sister. We've been knowing her she's my sister's friend, but there's no difference for me from my sister and her. We are very thick and close. And she helped me in many ways in my Krishna consciousness also. She's coming from a Sri Vaishnava background. Very wonderful devotee. Thank you, Geeta. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Let's see what the questions are. First question.
So it was just, I was just asking, what is Sudama's wife's name, Prabhu?
Actually, in those days, it is a tradition that husband usually calls his wife Kalyani. In general, that's a generic name.
Oh.
Kalyani is not necessarily her name. We can take her name as Kalyani, but generally Kalyani means auspicious one. And that means husband, in those days at least, his husband thinks that his wife is auspicious. In those days, by the way. That is one thing. We can take it as Kalyani. But in the 7th sloka, there is one mention, one particular name has been mentioned, like how Sudama became known as Uchela. Likewise, in the 7th sloka, Tasya Bharya Kuchelasya Kshukshama. Kshukshama. Kshukshama is another name given to her. Kuchela means one who is having a worn out dress. Kshukshama means one who is always hungry, always in a difficult situation. Is Karana Nama. Karanama is not really an actual name, but this is said to be another name to her. Shukshama means one is always in a situation where she is not nourished well. She's so weak. So like that because of not proper food and so forth. Those are the names we can take it from Bhagavatam. Okay, what are the questions we have?
You had mentioned like Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, and Krishna says like if not any of those, then years is fine. Where does it say that way, Prabhu?
These are the commentaries and how the acharyas and many saints, they take this particular thing. Okay. Not everything you can go on to sloka by sloka. Then you will get bored. If I only go by sloka, we can't go for 2 hours like this. If that is what is needed, we can attend our 6:30 Bhagavatam reading every day that's happened Monday through Thursday. Only sloka, straight to the translation and purport, we are done. But when we get into the mood of lectures like this, then we have to have that bhava, that rasa, that does not come only by direct translation. It has to be derived from various lectures. It has to be derived from various commentaries, from various acharyas. Okay? That's how we have to take it. That's why I've made it very clear. Don't go and look at the sloka and come back to me asking, the tears are not mentioned over there, Prabhu. You are making up your own thing. I'm not qualified to make up anything because I don't have that kind of realization. I only copy paste from different sources. That's all I'm doing. For me, I don't have any realization. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Any questions or realization? It's 7:50. I think I have to let you all go now because in 15 minutes, Bhagavatam, I think Bhagavatam is going to start at the temple. So you can all have a quick break and whatever you need to do and join back for Srimad Bhagavatam class. Is it okay, or anyone have any thing to share as a last?
One just last thought. When you mentioned about that Krishna being embarrassed, when because he gave very little to Sudama, I remembered Lord Ram being embarrassed and ashamed that he gave Sharanagati to Vibhishan so late. He delayed. So I just remembered that.
Yeah, very nice correlation. This is how our mind should work. It immediately has to go connect to different things. Thank you all very much. And again, forgive me for any offenses, but it was wonderful having you all here as always. We'll meet again tomorrow, 5 a.m. Central, to hear the sharing of the devotees. Hare Krishna. Have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness.